Housing starts fell today, but permits were up. And yesterday we saw home builder sentiment improve. So what's your thought on the housing market? Are we just bouncing along a bottom, or should we be seeing an improvement?
Well, we have seen an improvement from the darkest days we've been through. What's important for people to realize is that housing is the second best performer of a group in the S&P, and the fact of the matter, there is some significant money that's been invested by hedge funds in the housing industry. What will be interesting to watch is what happens. We're in the Christmas season of the housing industry. And that technically starts to end around September. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But these are the kind of numbers that are just going to continue to help move where fast money already is located to keep that momentum going. I just would keep a careful eye on what happens going into September.
And what about jobs? The job market still remains pretty weak. So what's the sentiment on the trading floor or among the people the traders you're talking with about the overall economy?
Well, it's funny. We just had a discussion this morning and asking, are we any better than where we were a few years ago? And the answer was a resounding no. Things have not improved at all for the average person. Yes, we consider ourselves average people down here. I know a lot of people find that hard to believe, but things are not. The economy has not improved. I guess the best case scenario, to put a positive spin on it, it stopped getting worse. But it has not. We have not had the recovery necessary to pull us out of. Some economists will tell you that we were in a depression, not a recession, and the recovery we have seen has been very poor, which is why we have this whole discussion on quantitative easing again. But it has not been a good ride, and it's not over yet.
And to your point, we aren't getting better, but we're not getting worse. And so, do you think the FOMC will ease monetary policy tomorrow when we hear from them?
No. I know it's what we've been seeing is jawboning from the central banks throughout the world, whether it was the Eurozone or whether it's the Central Bank of India or Australia. It depends on where you want to look throughout the world. But the fact of the matter is, I take the other side of the argument where you think the economic data is bad enough that it would justify an easing. Are the numbers really that bad, especially in the face of the housing numbers? And most people would tell you that the easing, if it was going to happen, would be in the agency markets, buying the Fannie and the Freddie Mae agency issues. With a housing number like we just saw, mortgage applications up 18% in the last reading, that'd be a tough argument to make for Ben Bernanke.
So housing would be the key data point to focus on rather than jobs.
Yeah, well, I think that should have been the key, quite frankly. I was disappointed.
It took us into the recession.
Right, it took us into the recession. It was what took down the banks. I think part of what you're seeing going on in the Eurozone is a better playbook than Bernanke put forth. We put money into the banks, but they didn't put the money out. They've used it as Tier 1 capital, so it didn't help rescue. There was no direct effect to the average investor.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to